Hello, Real Talkers. It's your girl, Fearless.
And your girl Sierra Blue.
All right, Real Talkers. We got a great podcast for you today. Sierra Blue, I was having a conversation with my husband, and he was talking about he has been reading on like how your body ages. Your body could be older or younger than what your actual age is. But he talked about that there is like an internal clock in your body, and it
Hmm.
switches over between 55 and 65. I'm like, what? He said, yes, it switches over. And so he's about to turn 60. So he feel like his switch has already been turned. He said, that your body aches a lot more. It takes a lot more effort to do things. It stiffens up a lot more. So, you are over what you 60, what, three?
Yes. No, wait a
63.
minute. 62.
62. Look, I'm trying to give you an extra one like y'all always doing me, making me older than what I am. We want to talk about as it pertains to the seasons changing. Because
Hmm.
I've noticed as I've gotten older, my body responds to when the seasons change. For example, like it doesn't matter whether it's going from fall to winter or summer to fall. Anytime the season change, my allergies and my sinuses kind of collide and I
Hmm.
have like the worst sinus infection ever. And it happens like clockwork. And I noticed that as I got into my 50s, this really started happening like consistently. So I'm thinking that my body has a clock in it where it can tell, like, I guess probably when the pressure changes, that my body responds to that pressure changing for the seasons and I automatically get sick. Have you ever felt anything like that?
Oh my gosh. I think for me, I have been sick with allergies, fearless, since I was a little kid.
Wow.
And I was on everything. My mama would get me all kind of medicines for my allergies because I would sneeze. I would have that, you know how you used to, I don't know if you do it, the itchy throat.
Yes, I
She
have that
hold
like right
me,
now.
they doing that because it was so bad for me, so bad. And then I would get sinus infections. When
Hmm.
that stuff turns yellow to green, you in trouble. You
Yeah.
pass trouble. So I did for the goodness of grace from this doctor. I had a doctor years ago. She showed me how to use the neti pot, the salt water.
Mm, yes.
I don't get them anymore because I use that neti pot off and on. So I seem
Hmm.
to be okay. But yeah, I remember those bad days with allergies. I sure do.
Yes. Now I do use the neti pot, because I couldn't use it at first because I felt like I was drowning. I don't know if you felt like that when you first started doing it. Like,
You feel bad.
real talkers for those who don't know, this is the thing that it's a little small pot. It looks like a little coffee cup, but it's like the size of your hand. And what you do, you put it in one nostril and it goes from one nostril out the other nostril. But they don't tell you have to lean your head to the side so it can go out the other nostril. If you try to do it just standing there, you're gonna drown because it don't have anywhere else to go. So I had to learn the hard way that you have to tilt your head when you're doing it so it can clean out that gunk up in your nose and your sinus cavities. But I actually bought the Navage, which is an electronic neti pot, but it automatically flushes your nose out and gets all that gunk up in your sinuses. That's the best thing since sliced bread. But even now at my age, it used to work all the time. If I used it, I would, congestion would be gone, the pressure would be gone. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed that sometimes I'm so congested, I can't even use that because it won't go through the nostrils because the nasal is swollen,
Mm-hmm.
the pressure from the sinuses. So I just noticed if I've gotten older, things start to happen. Like I injured my knee um,
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago. And when it rains a lot here in Houston. And so I've noticed that when it starts to rain, my knee starts to ache.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that a lot from elders. Oh, I know it's going to rain, but knee hurt. But now I'm seeing that it's happening to me too. It's like, I don't know if the body gets sensitive to nature and it starts responding on a natural way. I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe we got some holistic people out there that can kind of explain to us, why your body kind of reacts the way that it does in some types of weather or seasons
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. Because I can see now that my body will tell me when things are going to happen. My head will start hurting when pressure drops. Like if the temperature is dropping, I'll automatically get a headache automatically.
I
So,
think,
but I can understand that, part of it.
yeah. I think I agree with the aches and the pain, like when it's getting ready to turn like really cold, like if the temperature just
Mm,
drop. like
Yes.
unexpectedly, like it does here in South Carolina, um, then I'll feel my right hip. It feels like it's got a catch in it or a cramp in it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's telling me that the cold weather has hit that bone. And then it also, I get a little cramp in my right hip again when it's going to rain, like hard rain.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
feel that. And I don't know what that is. My grandparents used to tell me, they said it when they were when they would see the weather changing, and I would hear it as a little child. So I don't know if that just rubbed off on me and
It's in your mind.
feel.
It's just in your head. It's in your head. You
Yeah,
didn't really
maybe
have
it's just in my head. I still feel the pinch and the tugging
Yes.
on the bones and the hip and too. And arthritis has
Yes.
hit me in different areas of my body. So
Mm-hmm.
I told my mom about it sometime, and she said that's just your arthritis reacting to the change in the temperature. So I believe
Mm-hmm.
that. I do know that sometimes I'll get like in the when it's coming time from winter is coming off and then the spring is coming. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
When that spring comes, now that's when I
Yes.
start sneezing and I
Mm-hmm.
might have a cough with it and my throat might get a little itch. Before all that happens, I try to get on top of it before, the season actually comes in. Cause that pollen here, it's awful. And it hits
Yeah.
house, your land, your car. I mean, for weeks, we are just drowning in that yellow, itchy pollen. So
Mm.
that help your allergies here. So you have to wash, I find myself washing my nasals out. And I'll do that sometimes just in the shower, just warm water, suck it up your nose and spew it back out. And it cleanses it. And sometimes I'll wear a mask, especially if I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing gardening. I've learned to just mask up. Before
Mm-hmm.
and I take off all my clothes and put them in the wash. So I try to really stay on top of it, not having it pollen and, floating around in the house.
Yeah. And I also noticed that my joints would start to ache. And I never experienced that before in my 50s, my before my 50s, but I felt like as I've gotten older, it gets more frequent. And you take your pain reliever, your inflammation, because something is hurting and something is aching. But I mean, I looked at my nightstand. My husband like, you looking like grandma over there with all the medications. You got inflammation, you got painkillers, you got your nose stuff you got going on, you got your sinus stuff going on, you got your nasal spray. I mean, you on your intake, your side table look like a medicine cabinet like in the old days. So I can
Mhm.
tell as my body is aging, there's things that I need to do differently, like making sure that I keep my body lean, making sure that I'm flexing my body because it can get stiff very quickly if I don't keep it relaxed and my muscles flexible, working out if I'm not doing anything but squat or making sure my hips are loose so that way it doesn't cause the pain in my hips and doing the squats so my knees don't get stiff. I mean, those are things that I have to incorporate in daily life that I didn't used to have to do before. I mean, in my other house, I had steps so I can go up and down the steps, but I don't have that anymore. So, as real talkers, as we get older, we will have to change our behaviors if we don't want to be stuck in a chair.
That's
So,
true.
stuck in a chair because we're miserable with our sinus, stuck in a chair because our arthritis, our bronchitis, our hips, our knees, our joints are aching. We gotta move. That's the only way we're gonna stop these things from happening. Yeah, those folklores about the weather and every body start reacting to it. I don't know if it's true or not. I just know that like Sierra Blue said, it could be just what our grandparents and our parents told us, and we just believe it. So it's
Hmm.
got to be true. Look, it's got to be true. So the key to it is we have to keep moving because if our body is talking to us and saying these things, it means we need to move. We need to keep our body moving, exercising, because that's the best thing to help with aches and pains is to loosen up those muscles, keep them fresh, keep them lean. And then that way we can stay healthy and be able to move as we continue to age.
I believe all of that is true because I think we need to drink more water,
Yes.
and stretch more at this age. It's not really about picking up some weights, and getting strength. Really stretching helps.
Yeah.
As soon as I wake up, my back is just, oh, I feel like it's in knots. And as soon as I can get to the bathroom and put some warm water on it and then
Mm-hmm.
lean back, lean down and all that, move around, then that pain goes away. And I have to continue to put myself an alarm to say, get up, stretch at the computer. So I'm sitting here longer than I
Mm-hmm.
need to because I'm just in
Mm-hmm.
my work. But I have to set alarms for myself to get up. Otherwise, I'll get all catchy and it'll be hurting. And oh Lord, that's when that nice heat pad comes into play. Fearless, I got one everywhere I see. No lie. I tell you no lie. Talkers, I don't know about y'all, but a heat pad is, honey, it is like dream to my pain. And I have to do more icing too, because that's a
Mm-hmm.
part getting the soreness and inflammation out of your body is to ice your pain or ice that muscle, and it'll definitely help get out that pain. The other thing I try to do more is relax.
Ooh,
That's the hardest
yes.
thing for me because I'm always wound up. But I try to take about an hour before it's time to go to bed and relax, maybe read, do some calm praying or something like that, so that my
Mm-hmm.
mind cannot be all cluttered before I lay down and go to sleep. And I found that that's really what I need in my life right now. And I think real talkers, as you go through your aging stage like us and with us, there are so many things we need to do to our bodies. We need to coddle our bodies because we're so busy taking care of other things and other people. And, we may have adults that we have to take care of. We still may have we got grandchildren and they're going to come by and you want to have time for them. But I think most of all, as we age, we got to take time for ourselves. And that's
Mm-hmm.
hard for me, but I'm getting to love me more and more. So I want to stick around without the pains and the aches. So do my part. Thank you, Real Talkers. Have a great one.